Hey everyone, a very good morning. Hope you all are having a great time today. I know it's a long weekend. Most of us must be enjoying our holiday, but you all are with me right here. That shows that how dedicated you are towards a successful career. So let's clap for ourselves. Yeah. I'm super excited for today's session. If you all are excited with me, just show me a thumbs up so that there's something like we all have a certain excitement to start today's session. Yeah, I can see Shubham showing me a thumbs up. Mr. Mohammed, yes, that's great. That's nice. You guys can keep your cameras on, and but I would suggest that keep your microphones off to avoid any sort of disturbance. After the session, we will have a Q&A round and some exciting offers for you all. So I would request you all to stay till the end of the session and take a full advantage of this particular workshop. So let me just start with a brief introduction about Talentplace, and then we can start with today's session, right? At Talentplace, we are a team of passionate people, and our main objective is to help people like you craft your professional journeys. We help you to create a digital career profile, which is a new age resume. Our career analytics tool allow you to track your growth and stay up to date with industry trends. Our mission is to help you find the perfect career opportunity by standing out in today's competitive job market. In our digital career profiles, you can showcase your skills, experiences, achievements in a way that truly reflects your value proposition. Today, we are lucky enough to have a seasoned recruiter and HR professional who will be sharing her insights on the art of getting hired. She has worked with some of the biggest industries, biggest names, and has helped countless individuals find their dream jobs. Please join me in welcoming Arundhathi, who will be sharing her insights on how to get noticed in today's job market and land a perfect job. Arundhati is a seasoned HR professional and a recruiter with a wide range of experience in this field. She has extensive knowledge and expertise in HR management, HR analytics, business communication, training, development, leadership, management, and more. In her current role at Upgrad, she is responsible for conducting and moderating live sessions, workshops, webinars, and act as a grader and interview panelist. In her previous role at Goldman Sachs, Arundhati served as a campus recruitment coordinator and developed and implemented recruiting strategies. Arundhati has worked on lateral hiring and campus recruitment and has hands on experience with offer letters, CTC negotiation, and recruitment application design. Apart from HR, she is excellent in content writing and delivery, multitasking, MS Office applications, online live webinars, research, leadership, podcasting, and blogging. All these skills and experience make her a valuable asset to any organization. And the best resource person for today's session, the art of getting hired. With a big round of applause, let us welcome Arundhati. Over to you, ma'am.
Very, very good morning. Hi, Krishi. Thank you so much for the sweet introduction. Very good morning, everyone. I believe that I'm clearly audible to all of you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen first and then. Very good morning. Hi, Krishi. Thank you so much for the sweet introduction. Very good morning, everyone. I believe that I'm clearly audible to all of you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen first and then. Okay. Is my screen share visible?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. All right. So before we begin today's session, let me know from which part of the country are you joining us from. I can see messages from Kirti, Faiz, Shubham. So where are you joining us from? Okay, we have somebody from Bangalore. Okay. Kerala, Raichur, Tamil Nadu, again Kerala, Chennai. All right, great, great. Thank you, everybody. Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, lovely. All right. And as Krishi rightly said, it was a long weekend, right? It is a long weekend going on, and the enthusiasm that I can see with respect to, I mean, that enthusiasm is mandatory, right? When it comes to your career and the key decisions of your life, right? And only if you have a great career, you'll be able to enjoy these long weekends also. So yes, today we have this topic on the art of getting hired. Okay, so on these, while we used to call getting hired as a very strategic process and as a very planned and careful process, but there is an art to it, right? And you can land on your perfect job or your dream job, right? You can land on each of these your favorite lifestyle of yours through your jobs by the art of getting hired, right? By knowing rightly as to which is the next step that you have to do, how you have to craft your next step in order to, or step by step, in order to land in your dream job, land on your perfect job, right? So we will look at some of, understanding the job market, knowing the job processes. It's all a long process, right? But in this given 1.5 hour, right, let us see what we can understand or what we can leverage from the session in order to apply in your job hunting process or your process in which you're trying to find and land in your dream job, right? Let us see some of the tips and tricks and some of the so-called art, to understand how to land on your dream job, right? So let us quickly start with a session. So basically, I always say, the dream job is finding your dream job or identifying your dream job is not an easy task, right? You see, right, even when you're in your 10th and 12th standard, you have the struggle in figuring out, which course do you want to choose, because that will eventually take you to your career or the dream job that you want. So one important thing to, one key that you can use in order to identify your dream job is to start asking yourself, what kind of life do you want, right? Not just life with respect to career, but what kind of life do you want in general? The life that is a mix of your personal and professional lives. How do you want your life to be, right, in future? So that is the question that, I found out that, or, so-called, recruitment experts keep, finding out that, people somewhere forget to, think of what kind of life they want, because the kind of life you want will eventually help you in understanding the kind of career that you want. For example, if somebody needs a life with great work-life balance, right? For a person like me, okay, if you ask a person like me, I would love to have my personal space with my family, space for my hobbies, for my extra curricular activities. And then I want to be in a career where I feel extremely passionate. Right. So if I am put in a job which requires me to work even on weekends, which demands work from me like till late night hours, that will not be the dream career that I want to be in, right? So the kind of life that you want will eventually help you in understanding the career that you want to build. So I always say, if getting hired is an art, then your canvas is going to be to identify the dream career that you want. Okay, the career that suits you, suits your ambitions, suits the kind of life that you want, right? So that, try to think from that perspective when you think about your dream career. You see these people, no, they would be in one profession, and after a point in time, say after working for 10 or 15 years, they suddenly switch their profession to a totally new domain. Why? Because probably that is the time when they realized the kind of life they want, right? So if you try to think from that perspective as to the what kind of life do you want, that will eventually help you in arriving at your dream career or your dream company, your dream job. So once you know your dream career, you eventually start looking for the dream company, right? And then the kind of work culture in each company, you'll try to read through and understand the work culture of each company, the kind of responsibilities that you as a person will have in that company, right? These are the things that you will try to identify. And when you achieve what you want, that is when success is decided, right? So success varies for different people. For me, my life is successful when I'm able to balance everything and when I'm able to enjoy everything, right? Whether it is my job or my personal time or my hobbies. So if you want to achieve success, it means that you reach the dream life that you want, or you try to live the dream life that you want, right? So the art of getting hired is not just about creating your career and getting landed in a job. It is also about defining your success, okay? Knowing where your success lies in, right? Now I'll post a question to all of you, okay? Think and answer in the chat box. When is the first time you think that you are getting connected to a company? So I've posted the question on the screen here as well. Okay. Now you tell me, you can put in the chat box here. I'll read it from there. When do you think you are getting first connected to a company? Which stage? I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. After 3 months. Okay, great. In an interview, after college. Okay. All right, interview. Okay. Usually when I ask this question, interview is is the most common answer that I get. All right. Some people go a little deeper, saying that when you see the job posting, or when you apply for the company, right, or when they call for an interview, right. So I get all the answers are centered around this term interview after getting hired to a company. Okay. Okay. So now, how many of you believe, or how many of you know that work cultures in companies like Google or Tata are really flexible, and they're a bunch of passionate people working there? How many of you have heard about the great work culture of Google? You all agree with me? Google has a great work culture. Yeah. Has any of us worked with Google? No, but we know that Google has a great work culture. Or for that matter, there are so many other companies whom we get to know, right? With respect to their work cultures, okay, XYZ company has great work culture. Or tomorrow when you are applying for a company, you pray that, okay, I wish I get placed in this company because I know that this company has a great work culture, or this company has a great learning opportunity, right? So it's not the interview stage where you get connected with the company. You get connected with the company much before that, right? Many companies try to get connected with you like that. These companies try to gain your attention. Okay. And why do they want to gain your attention? Because just like as much as how you need a job, or how we all need a job, right? Companies also need talented people like you and me, okay, or talented people in the job market. They are also desperately looking for people who are highly talented, passionate, has the attitude of learning, and who can come and work there. They're looking for people who, kind of fit in their company culture, right? And you know what? Every year, millions and billions of amount is invested into, this particular, process of, making sure that great talents are attracted to companies. And this process is called as employer branding. Okay, there is a specific term that is used to it. A lot of strategic planning goes into the picture, right? And that is what you call it as employer branding. Why? Because companies are equally in search for talented people like you. Okay, so normal branding is when they brand their product or service to attract their customers. Employer branding is when they try to brand the workplace as the best place to work so that good talents will apply to those companies. Okay, that is when you start thinking about these companies, and then when you suddenly see a job posting, you immediately apply, right? So to make that initial connection, so you getting to know about the company could be through many sources. You may read about it, there are some internet posts that you have seen, or maybe a LinkedIn post, right? Or maybe a friend of you who has worked there in that company, maybe telling you, okay, they have a great work life balance and a great work culture and so many things to learn and all that, right? So in order to make sure that you get attracted to the company, companies make sure, or the company's management makes sure that their employer branding is strong, right? So from there is where your association with the company starts, right? Now let us try to look into a step-by-step mode of how your recruitment process happens. Specifically, let us delve down to recruitment. Okay, so the first thing is you decide whether which company to apply to, or you decide. So when you see a job posting, you have to, the job posting should be from the HR's perspective. The job, we are as an HR who has worked in various organizations, whenever we post a job posting or a job advertisement, the first thing that they ask us to check is it should have great clarity. Clarity on what? Clarity such that the person who's applying for the job, right, whoever is reading the job advertisement, should be able to identify whether you are fit for the job or not. Similarly, as a person who's applying for the job, right, you need to think from various perspectives. Okay, you, on one side, you see the qualifications. Some qualifications would be mandatory, some qualifications would be optional, right? Apart from that, you are also supposed to research about the company before you apply to the company, right? When I say or when usually these interview experts and these placement guides and all, they always ask us to research about the company. But researching about the company is not just for the interview process alone. Researching is for your own benefit also, to make yourself educated about what kind of company it is. Once you join there, will you be able to continue working there? Would you be able to align with the work policies there? Right? You hear that there is a company who's very strict on with respect to their leave policies, but you're the kind of a person who takes a lot of holidays, probably for a family function or for traveling, right? And then once you apply in that company, and in spite of knowing that they have a very strict leave policy, and then you expect a lot of holidays and leaves, right? There will be a mismatch. Eventually, you will start feeling frustrated in the firm, right? You will not do your work properly. And eventually, they will have to terminate you because you're not doing your work properly. So the company is at loss, you're also at loss, right? So in order to understand whether you are the right fit for the company, you got to research on it. Reread the job advertisement, research on the company, go beyond the company website, right? Check for websites like Glassdoor and LinkedIn, wherein you see people giving reviews about the firm, right? Has somebody checked in Glassdoor about a company's review? If you log into Glassdoor, there are many options. If you type in a company name, there are multiple options. You can see the average salary that the company is offering, probably some common interview questions that the companies usually ask, and review about people's review on how the company was when they worked there. Positive and negative reviews are given. Okay, and then of course look for the career offers, the growth opportunities. Let's understand their training and development policies. And try to go through the company website and try to understand the company more, so that you can decide whether you are the right fit for the firm or not. Okay, understand the job responsibilities, and also look for the overall company's financial health, right? Whether the company is a startup company or is it a, established, giant or an MNC. Look for the financial health of the company. Is the company going down? That is when well, you would require to keep yourself updated on the market trends. Try to read some news apps and newspapers, or just, if at all you're not a very regular reader, just type in the company name, go to the news section of Google, and you will see all the latest update about the company, right? Some companies, maybe they are in the phase, maybe they must have found some scams going on, and people are withdrawing their shares, and a company is at loss suddenly, and that is when, they're hiring you. So maybe you may not get the expected salary, right? So in order to avoid all those confusions in the last moment, try to do the research well, right? And once that is done, when you're satisfied, then you apply for the company. How do you apply for the company? How do you apply for a job posting usually? What is the next step? Any guesses? You can put in the chat box. Resume, right? Next step, the key word in the next step is resume. You send out your resume, CV or resume, whatever you call it, right? Of course, it has ideally a difference. Resume is usually that, if you look at technically the, explanation of resume, it's just a one-page document, whereas CV is wherein you write in detail about everything, right? It's a long document. However, interchangeably, the terms are used as years and generations pass by. People use it interchangeably, right? And nowadays, we try to build something called as a great career portfolio, right? And this is where Talentplace is coming into picture. I'm going to explain that, right? So the next step is about applying for the CV, right? Or applying with the resume. Now, resume building is the next, biggest picture that you're painting in that art, right? So resume building is going to be another big process. So we'll start from here with respect to how the resume building has taken shape currently. Okay, so ideally, see, when I joined my first workplace, as my core domain is into human resource management, as Krishi was speaking. So when I joined my first workplace, my first job was to sit and screen CVs from scratch. This basic job that a recruiter gets in the beginning is sitting and going through various CVs. Okay, trying to figure out whether this CV will fit the given job requirement. Okay, so that was all manual scanning. Nowadays, okay, majority of the companies in the world and in our country, they are using something called as an ATS. It is nothing but an applicant tracking system. Okay, so applicant tracking system is nothing but it's software wherein they feed the resumes that you send. Okay, be it from any source, they feed the resumes that you send, and it will scan the CV, automatically. Okay, it will scan the CV. It will look for certain keywords in the CV. Okay, for example, if the job description looks for somebody who's into graphic designing, it will look for keywords like graphic and designing and related skills with respect to graphic designing. These are all some of the keywords that it will scan for. And if the CV has these keywords, and if the CV has the matching criteria, then the CV is sent to the recruiter finally in order to go for a manual checking or for a manual screening, right? For a human screening. So basically, it's the resume. The resumes are reaching the machines first rather than the humans. Okay. Now, what is it that we have to do here? Or what is it that we should understand from this? We should understand that now our resumes should be not just readable for humans, but it should be ATS friendly. How do you make it ATS friendly? It has its own formatting styles. Okay, so it's nothing but it should have clear formatting. Too many tables, too many charts and graphic elements will not be read by an ATS, okay, or any application tracking system. There should be proper sequencing when you write your sections, right? Education, you write about your employment history, you write about the skill sets that you have. It should all have a proper sequencing and the right word usage. And it should be customized as per the job description also. Okay, it is always said that your CV should speak the language of the job description. Okay, so it should be customized enough for the job description. Only then the matching criteria would be, higher. The matching percentage would be higher, and your CV would be shortlisted for, the human scanning, right? So here is a brief about application tracking system, right? It's a resume scanning software that is used, right? So some application tracking system also has, additional functionalities, like it will even sort CVs. After they scans, say about 50 CVs are sent to the application tracking system, it will sort about 5 CVs, it will screen 5 CVs, and those 5, it will rank in the order of which has the best match, right? So sometimes even those additional functionalities are also done through an application tracking system, right? So statistics say that 99% of Fortune 500 companies, they rely on ATS softwares to, in order to streamline their recruitment processes. So if you want to get to the interviewing stage, if you want to make sure that, you have to be shortlisted for the interview round, it should be ATS friendly. And if your resume don't play well with the application tracking system, it will never get through the, human recruiter, right? So then, it will not be ever, checked for a job description or a job hiring, right? So now application tracking system, as I said, they become like an electronic gatekeeper, right? And if a CV is not written and formatted with the right pattern, as in this prescribed ATS pattern, then it is going to be a big no for you. In spite of being a qualified person, if your CV does not clearly represent how you're a qualified person with the right formatting and layout, you may not get to the interview stage. So we look at some interesting statistics here. It is said that on an average, a corporate job posting, right? If they put an advertisement, they receive on an average about 250 applications. Okay, that is 250 resumes are being sent. Out of those applications, only 4 to 6 will be contacted for an interview, right? And out of that, one will get selected for that one vacancy that we have. Okay. And out of this 99% of organizations, as I said, with respect to Fortune 500 companies, they use ATS. They've all started now automating their processes. And if it is a, fairly big company, right, they receive about 50K to 70K resumes each week. So do you think a human can sit, or, a group of humans can sit and parse through all these CVs? No. So they need a automation software. And it is said that 75% of resumes will never be seen by a human eye because it gets screened out nowadays, right? So to make sure that the robots are not stopping you from getting to your dream job, you got to align your CVs accordingly so that it is, it is even identifiable by a robot, right? When I say robot, it is the ATS software. So as I said, keeping a very simple format, making sure that the contact information is put on the more visible end rather than putting it on the header and footer section, using the right keywords, right? No addition of unnecessary tables and columns and special characters. And the format that you submit in. I still see a lot of people submitting their CVs in Word format and even in image format, right? See, those are all very creative, okay? But then in order to go through the ATS system, it needs to be either in a PDF format or in a doc format, all right? So, and the length of the CV again, making sure that it has the right, so when you have, enough experience, make sure that all your experience are detailed. So depending on the kind of work experience that you have, optimize the length of the CV also. And the font size and style, right? It should be the Times New Roman or Arial. There are certain standard styles that you can follow, and 14 to 16 point for the headings in terms of the header standard, and 11 to 12 point for the standard text, right? So those standards has to be followed so that it is more and more ATS friendly, right? And of course, putting things in the right sequence. So these are all highly, highly important, right? And now looking at the various sections of CV, the first important thing is to put the right job title and put it in the resume heading. So you know what? When we talk about this from the Talentplace perspective, right? Your Talentplace takes care of all these things, right? So the kind of CVs now, Krishi was detailing on, how the Talentplace CVs are and how they help in building, ATS friendly CVs. Your Talentplace CVs, it is made sure that it is ATS friendly, right? So once you apply with the CV that is built by Talentplace, it can easily parse through the ATS systems, right? So Yeah, somebody has asked a question. Should we use a graphical or text-based resume? It has to be a text-based resume. If it is graphical-based resume, it is going to be rejected by an ATS. ATS will not understand that system or those languages. Right. So it has to be simple text-based. Okay. Because it will capture those text and try to match it with the text in the job description. Okay. Now, few important things that you should maintain in your CV and which is well taken care by Talentplace, automatically, is that your resume heading, the right resume heading. All right. And so, for example, see, if you can see in an example here, see, award-winning chemical engineering researcher or result-oriented business analyst, right? Making sure that the right heading is placed so that you grab the recruiter's attention also very fast, right? Once it is passed to the ATS, it should it would be read by a recruiter also, right? In such cases, it has to gain their attention also. And labeling your sections correctly. You know what? Some people, they think that, they're making, I mean, with intention of making it very creative. Instead of education, they will put, what did I study? Okay. Or, so they'll try to, or academic qualification, they will write with some synonyms. All right. Or they'll try to make it very creative. But ATS is going to read simple terms like education, employment, or work history. Or there will be some 3-4 options. Okay. And again, your Talentplace is going to take care of that. The right sequencing, the right labeling, everything is taken care. Now you must be thinking why all these things are so important, right? That is where you have the statistics coming into picture, right? Various studies have been conducted over these resume and CV building processes, right? Now, study by the Ladders, website, had found that recruiters spend just an average of 7.4 seconds reviewing a resume, right? After which, in these 7.4 seconds, they will decide whether they should, continue reading the CV or reject it, right? So in that 7.4 seconds, you got to grab the attention of the recruiter and the interviewer so that they start developing interest in you, right? And the same study found that recruiters focused on the specific sections like resume of the resume, like the name, current position and company, previous position and company, and your education and skills. So these are said to be the key sections in the CV. Of course, there are other important sections, but these are the key. Okay. Now here is a typical CV, right? A normal CV versus a Talentplace CV. Just because it is a text-based CV, it doesn't mean that it's a boring CV, right? You cannot, you can add as many color variants as you want. Okay. there is a special, so layout that you have to maintain. So rather than manually creating it, it will be all built by Talentplace, right? Then why may we use any other resume? Normal resume in Word will be great, is it? It would be great, but as I said, the world is changing. Okay, so the normal resume, if you want to apply for a company which does not use an ATS, or where a majority of the CVs are screened by human, of course, any normal resume or a PPT-based resume or even an image-based resume will be okay. But now you don't know, right, whether which company is using an ATS. Some company may not have their inbuilt ATS system, but they may outsource it also, right? Just like how companies give the hiring responsibility to a third party company, companies have started outsourcing this as well to screen CVs. So you don't know whether your CV is going through an ATS or is it being going to be read by a human eye, right? So why take a risk? So if it is ATS friendly, it can equally be read by the human eye also, right? And research say that these are the most important sections, as I was mentioning, and some of the key things that will hamper you from getting your or maybe come across as a hindrance in order to go to the recruiter are typos and bad grammar, very unprofessional email address. Some people write pinkycool@gmail.com are all very unprofessional, right? Try to add a professional full name email address, right? So I have, like, although it's very lengthy, I have put it as arundhati@gmail.com. Similarly, I've seen a lot of professional, it just takes your full name and maybe a number, because Gmail has to produce emails that are not similar to other persons, right? So, a full name and a number would be a right format. It would be a very professional email address. And then, putting your results in a very quantifiable manner. I'll explain why it is important to be quantifiable. Okay. So these are the most important sections in a CV. And of course, the key details, which you put in the beginning of the CV, which you should try avoiding to put in the header and footer. Okay, these should come in the prominent initial information that you provide in the CV, which is nothing but your name, your contact number and email, okay, number in which you're available, your email ID, a profile URL. When I say profile, it's either your LinkedIn profile, okay, or for certain people, they maintain a portfolio. For example, if you're applying for a content writing role, it's always good to show your blogging page or any online profile wherein you have added your articles. Or if it is somebody who is into designing and all that, you have softwares like Behance or websites like Behance wherein you upload your designs, right? So your portfolio or a profile URL, and then your place. Okay, place includes your city and country. And then, of course, having a skill bank is very important. Skill bank is not to be put in the CV, but first of all, having a skill bank for you is important. Okay. Now, what is a skill bank? Skill bank is just like, a bank. It contains a pool of all your skills. Okay. So in order to build your skill bank in a more organized manner, you can actually make 3 sections in your skill bank. Maybe you can, have an Excel sheet with you, a personal Excel sheet with you, or you can put it in a pen and paper format. But make sure that there are 3 sections. One is your technical section. Second is organizational based section. And third is a software based section. Okay. In your technical section, you are going to add your key skill sets that are domain specific. Okay, that are very, very specific to the job role or to the domain role. Okay, so if you are into, for example, if you are into say IT roles, right, a software developer role, then your programming languages that you're aware of, your various softwares that you have handled, right, these will be your technical domain. Then you have your organizational based skill set, which includes, any skill set that is normally required for your management or administrating functions. For example, your leadership skills or your communication skills. That becomes your organizational behaviors. And then you have your software-based skill sets. Apart from what you require at your workplace, other softwares that you're aware of, say, or in general, other softwares that you're aware of, like your PowerPoint or, MS Word applications, basically. If you know Photoshop, then that's great. Tally is another software, right? So those additional software skills you can add in the software-based section. Okay. So now I'm going to be I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Okay. In that 2 minutes, try to, open an Excel sheet. If you're in your system, open your Excel sheet, or if you're in a mobile phone, so open your notepad, or if you're sitting, without any of these, probably, just watching the video, then make sure that take a pen and paper, make 3 columns, and in the given 2 minutes that I'm going to give 2 minutes, I'll keep a timer with me. In the 2 minutes, make sure that you build a skill bank, a basic skill bank. You can keep on adding to this later, as and when you gain new skills, or as and when you remember that you have XYZ skills with you. Okay, you'll keep learning, no certifications, and with your job, you'll keep learning, you'll keep adding to the skill bank. But create a skill bank right now. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Okay, so can we do this? Yeah. Okay, your time starts now. Okay. Okay, you have 45 seconds more. All right, 2 minutes up. Okay, so have you started building one? Okay, I think we can all come back. Yeah, you can put a pause to building your skill back, and we can all be back to the session. Okay, now I've probably I can say I have kickstarted building your skill back, but make sure that you retain it with yourself. Okay, why? Because usually I see people when they have to apply for a company, they'll that is the time when they panic and then pull out all the certificates that they have achieved recently, or probably it could be a certification program, or maybe they would have won some award, maybe in the nearest future, and then they will all stack it up with them, and then one by one karke, they'll start building their CVs, right? That will take up a lot of time and energy also. So if you have a skill bank, the moment you take up a course, you can just immediately add to it. If it is a soft copy of a skill bank is what you are managing, then it's even more easier, right? Just open your Google Notes or any notepad that you have in your smartphone, and you can keep adding to it, right? So why? Because you will have to you can go at ease when it comes to your final when you're building your CV. So I think I had already explained, the technical skill sets is about whichever is related to your work, your job related, your core domain related. So for me, being an HR professional, being a recruiter, my technical skill sets would be recruitment, CV sourcing, CV reading, right? Documenting CVs, maintaining Excel trackers on candidate details, some portion of HR analytics, basics of recruitment analytics. These are going to be, or CTC negotiations, these are going to be my technical skills. Okay, it will vary depending on the job. For somebody who's into a creative profession, say an artist, his technical skills are going to be the knowledge on colors, right? Or probably his technical skills are going to be the knowledge on maybe mixing, or maybe the knowledge on digital art, right? So that is his technical skill, but it will keep varying with people to people. Organizational skills are the one which you require for your managerial and administrative purposes, like leadership and communication and team building, etc. And then your software based, which is any additional softwares that you are aware of, okay, which you may or may not use in your workplace, but any other softwares that you're aware of. So what have you added in your organizational skill sets? Can somebody put one or two of your skill sets that you have added in your organizational skill section? Leadership, communication, teamwork. Okay, great. You can also put multitasking, you can put creativity, knowledge management, right? Calendar management, all these things. You have to keep exploring, okay? I would always say CV building or building your own CV is like a, self-introspection or a journey into yourself, right? You're trying to, the best thing that you can put across about a person is about yourself. Nobody knows you better than you, right? And about you, you're putting it on a documented format, in a very nice presentable format, right? Again, creative thinking, team management, strategic planning, relationship development. Lovely. And of course, software skills are all your additional software. Some people are really good at Photoshop, some people have a great knowledge on Tally, right? So that's about your additional software based skill sets. Great. Now, after the skill bank, let us see what are the other things that you need. So then comes your summary section, right? A summary section should contain either a summary of your, a concise summary, a 3 to 4 line summary of your CV, or it should also contain an additional detail with respect to what you're looking forward with respect to this CV. So when you're using the current CV, for what you're applying, right? Is it for a change in the domain? Is it just that you're looking for a job change to move to a higher job role? Or are you looking for a different kind of an experience? So you want to try out in another company as well, right? So what are you looking forward to? Right, that has to also be added in the CV summary. Some people add it as separate sections, one as a summary and another as an objective. That can also be done. Okay, so you're again when it's all these elements where your talent place comes into picture. Why? Because it keeps on adding or building to your or it helps you in automatically building your CV likewise. Okay, it will keep building your career objective. It also, it's an AI generated a profile summary that it will give you, right? It's all in one go. And then, of course, your work experience. Your work experience, it should contain details like your designation, whatever you have served, and then the company name, right? From to, how much you have served in a certain company, in a certain job role, responsibilities that you have had, right? And skill sets that you have used in order to carry out those responsibilities, right? The mode of doing it. Some people must have been working on a remote mode or a freelance mode. So if it is not on a full-time mode, then you have to mention the mode of working as well. And then, of course, making sure that the right words are used, right? So here is where I come with the term quantifiable. Anything that you write, make sure that the right action words are used: achieved, expanded, influenced, trained, right? Using the right words. Some people may write a very layman term for this, right? So all these words and all these job responsibilities, again, when you type in the designation and when you type in the basic responsibilities that you have done, it will give you an AI generated set of responsibilities. You can choose from it, you can edit it and customize it for yourself, right? So it is AI powered, so you needn't worry about the formatting, the grammatical errors or anything, right? So depending on the designation that you feed in, right, it will automatically generate your set of responsibilities, which you can edit and customize for yourself as well. You have 100% liberty to do that, right? And then, of course, the important sections have been detailing. A photo is optional. Again, you have the option of choosing to remove or keep your photo. Okay. As I said, it's important to treat your job description like a benchmark. So whenever you're applying for a position, I would always say customize your CV. Do not use the same one CV to apply for 100 jobs. No. Customize it accordingly for each job because it should speak the language of the job description, right? So the more you customize it, higher is the chance of achieving your desired job, basically, or in making sure that you reach to at least the interview position or the interview stage, right? So making sure that you tailor your resume with respect to the job description. That tailoring is very, very important, right? So am I using the same language as the CV? To check that is very important. Now when I keep saying why that it is very important, you would definitely ask me why it is so important. Why? Because number one, it is the ATS. So definitely there has to be a match in the words that you feed in and the words that is there in the job description, number one. Two, here are the statistics for you, right? So various surveys, again, various websites and various institutions have conducted surveys on, again, resume building and specific to resume, right? Job White and Career Builder, etc. So it is said that 40% of the percentage of recruiter will dismiss a resume if it is not tailored to the job description, right? Or similarly, there is an higher increase in the chances of getting hired if it is tailored to the JD or the job description. Okay, 54% of the employers prefer resumes that are customized, very personalized to the job description, right? And 66% of the recruiters are looking for specific keywords. So even if so it is to be passed through the ATS in order to make sure that it reaches the interview table, right? Basically, before you reach the interview table, it is a CV that reaches the interview table. So make sure that it better represents you, right? It represents you in the best possible format. So some tailored job descriptions I have posted, right? I will also show as to the various formats that Talentplace hasn't for you, the various resume formats. Everything will be, shown towards the end. And of course, drawing attention to the keywords and numbers. Specific keywords, as I said, are very, very important. Numbering them is again very important. Now, when it comes to a CV, showing your achievements in numbered format. So for example, I handled a lot of recruitment, or I handled too many people in a single day for recruitment. Rather than saying this, I could actually mention the specific number, right? I handled about 3,000 people single-handedly in a one-day recruitment campaign, or, in a one-day recruitment process, right? So in such case, that 3,000 number will seem heavy. Adding number will, it will grab the eye of the hiring manager or recruiter, right? So then, it shows that how far you are, specifically qualified with respect to each of your skill set. When you say recruitment is your key skill, right? How do you know? Where have you applied? Here is the number, right? Or with my strategic planning, we have improved the profitability of a particular product to 10% more, right? So again, that 10% shows that how much you have applied your skill set, right? Or any specific branding that you have suggested, branding strategy that you have suggested, which increased the sales of that particular product by say 50%, right? Again, it shows how far is the impact of your skill set. So in order to show all those, numbering your or quantifying your achievements are very, very important. So wherever possible, quantify it. Sometimes it may not be possible to quantify it, and it's okay, but wherever possible, quantify it. Okay. If it is the other way, if it is not quantifiable, then you have the AI powered, resume builder that is with you, Talentplace. And then of course it is a making sure that it doesn't omit the keywords, grammatically correct format, right layout, and right the clear, well legible formatting of your CV is again very important. So a typical high risk resume has these red flags, right? 25% of people have their buried contact information, and some have too many graphics and all. Some people have, like, they must have submitted in a very incompatible format, right? So at all these places, Talentplace makes sure that all these omissions are cleared off from the root itself, right? And apart from building your CV that is very ATS friendly, highly crisp, and a typical text-based CV that you have, right? It also helps you in building your digital career profile. So I was truly with the founder of Talentplace AI, who asked me to, or who gave me a perspective of looking at your career from an investment point of view, right? Because that is something where you invest most of your energy into. You study to build a great career, you upskill to build a great career, right? And then if it doesn't give you the returns, then you're unhappy. Basically, you become unsuccessful after all those investments, right? So how to make sure that you get the right ROI out of your investment into your career, so that your career gives you the success that you have decided, right? Now, to make sure, you got to know what is the gap that is standing there between you and your dream career, right? So in order to understand all those, you have a digital career profile that is also provided by Talentplace, or that is built for you by Talentplace. Okay. The details about it and pricing plans, we have, Krishi who will be explaining it, but yeah, Talentplace helps you in all these elements. So give me a moment as I share my screen on those aspects. Okay. I'll take you through the various CV formats. Okay. And sharing those profiles with you as well. So first, I'm going to show you the CV format, and then I'm going to show you the career profiles as well. Please let me know once the screen share is visible. Are you able to see the screen? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so here are the few resume formats that you can see, the text-based CV formats. These are all ATS friendly. You can choose to change the color and choose to add your photograph for these, okay? So if you go down, you can see the various sections listed, the technical skills, cognitive skills with your, you again have an option of choosing whether you got to add the qualification or the proficiency here or not, right? And all the work experience. So all these content are AI powered and AI generated, okay? And this I would call a perfect ATS friendly CV because it is all ATS vetted, so you can be assured that it will pass through the ATS. Self-declaration, again, it's all optional, okay? Similarly, showing the next CV as well. So this is the next CV format. It is dual colored, basically, the second format that I'm showing. Again, you can choose, choose the color format and the font and everything. And this is yet another format or a template that you have. For every profile that they have served with different companies, all the responsibilities are detailed, skill sets are detailed, career profile summary is given, right career heading is given, contact details and everything is given in the beginning so that it's easily recognizable, right? And also showing that, so what I've shown currently is the templates, the CV templates that you have, ATS friendly CV templates. The next thing that I'm going to show you is your career profile that is being built. So what I've shown currently is the templates, the CV templates that you have, ATS friendly CV templates. The next thing that I'm going to show you is your career profile that is being built by AI. So this is the career profile of Abira. So as you can see, if you go down, so this can be shared with the recruiter, okay? And you can keep modifying this as well, okay, based on your experience. So it will show where you're, you can, where you have to upskill. So your psychometric tests will be taken, your skill assessments would be taken, okay? And everything is going to be added here. See, a proper career summary is given. Again, it's all AI powered. And it's like a dashboard that you see in Excel, right? So you can see how each skill is listed here. The career timelines for each are given. You can also choose to see, it will customize accordingly. So the recruiter you can share the link of your career profile with anybody, with the recruiter, and they can go through your CV like this. As I said, it functions like an Excel dashboard, right? So again, your salary management graph is also given so that it will help you in predicting the next CTC that you can quote at the next company when you're doing a job change, right? And it will also list out the key skills that you have used in different roles, along with the key responsibilities. And it gives an information about the company also. So sometimes people don't know, right? Sometimes it's a small company and the kind of work that you have done to promote the company or to get, raise the company from what it was to what it is. It must have taken enormous effort. But in front of maybe a huge company, that effort may look very small. So in order to make sure that it doesn't happen, okay, it also gives a detail about the company side by side. Right. Again, you needn't fill all the information. The moment you add the company detail, you have all these again generated by AI, right? Yeah, so I saw a question asking, could you also share on how to build a fresher CV? The fresher CV also has, should have similar sections. Only thing is that it will not have a work experience section. Max to max, it will have an internship experience section. So internship experience also, you can write it in the same work experience format, right? Rest all details and this, the flow of information is all the same, even if it is a fresher CV, right? It is another example. So this is about the career profile of Aditya Saha. Again, you can see how it is being built. Interesting enough. Do you think that it will give you, give your recruiter and give yourself a perspective on where do you stand and where you have to reach, right? You will know where to upskill, where the gaps are. Quite useful, right? I wondered, like the moment I saw this for the first time, I literally wondered, we had this at, our age when we were deciding on our careers, right? So probably we would have been able to better build our careers maybe through such deciding on our careers, right? So probably we would have been able to better build our careers maybe through such efforts. But yeah, we have, the world has changed now. We have all AI powered, websites and AI powered solutions happening around us, right? So why not leverage it for our career building also, right? So next we move on to so after the CV, right? So this is where AI comes into picture, or your Talentplace AI comes into picture. And after this, let us move to, so after you have done with your CV submission, the next step is interviewing, right? So of course, you'll have a detailed session on interviewing and talent salary negotiations. If you have decided to subscribe to Talentplace AI, okay, a detailed session, 3-hour session on salary negotiation and interviewing specifically we'll be coming across, but definitely I'll give you a gist here, okay, as to what will those sessions cover. Okay, so once you have subscribe to Talentplace AI, what is in it that you can see in the interview and the CTC sessions? A gist of it I'll be covering here. Okay. So interview may you're always has to research about the company, right? Everybody talks about researching about the company, and especially amongst freshers, the biggest trend that I see is they keep memorizing the company's vision, mission. They keep memorizing the founder's name, the current CEO's name, and then the year of founding, and it's all in the memorizing process. But I would always say you look at the story of the company. Okay, you look at the current reviews, the current events of the company, and go beyond the company website. Of course, you have to understand about the company as to what it is doing, which industry it is functioning, everything you will get from the company. But beyond that, what is it currently happening about it? What are people talking about the company, right? Where does it stand with respect to other companies? For that, you got to look beyond the company website. There are other, institutions which conduct researches on companies. For example, you can look through websites like McKinsey, right? Or you can go through websites like I was mentioning, Glassdoor or LinkedIn, how the social media profiles are looking. And do you think you can make a change there, right? So all these elements are also to be inspected. Okay. Now, why? Because one, you will get an information about whether you are qualified to apply to the company. As I said, whether you are the right fit for that company or not. Secondly, from the interviewing perspective, it will show the kind of effort that you have put into researching. So make sure that when the recruiter asks questions on what do you know about the company, or whenever it talks about, or a question comes about your knowledge about the company, make sure that you quote specific websites. Say that I read from this website that people are talking about XYZ about your company. So they will know that yes, you have taken that extra effort to know about the company better, right? That will actually help you in landing your desired job in that interview process. So check the company website, social media accounts, look for news and articles and press releases. As I said, you have a separate news section in Google, check for that section. Research the industry, review the job description. Okay. And statistics say that the top 4 common interview questions are these. Tell me about yourself, or they will ask for a self-introduction. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Of course, they will frame it in different ways. End of the day, what they're asking is to tell about yourself, right? So according to a study conducted by the Balance Careers, the most commonly asked interview question, 64% of the recruiters or employers asking the same question, tell me about yourself or introduce yourself, right? Next is, why do you want to work with this company? The second most important question. This is as per the survey conducted by Glassdoor, right? The third is your strengths and weaknesses. Okay. What are your key strengths and weaknesses? And the fourth, why should we hire you? Apart from these are other common interview questions as well, right? Which you should be well prepared for. Now, all these questions, it's not like you don't know the answer of these questions. You know the answer. Of course, tell me about yourself. It's about talking about yourself. It's if they ask what do you know about the company or where do you want to work there, you have the answer in your mind. But are you putting or are you articulating the answer in the right manner or not? That is what is being tested there, right? So I would always say there is a method of cracking interview questions. It's like how you have these, tips and tricks to crack certain questions in an entrance exam or your mathematics examination, right? Similarly, there is a formula to it. Okay, I would say more than a formula, I would call it as a blueprint. Okay, now, for example, why should we hire you? So usually people keep talking about themselves, saying that, I have these skills, so I would be useful here. I have XYZ ability, so maybe I can be and then you can leverage my abilities there. But the one important strategy to answer why should we hire you is to find the intersection. Now, what is the intersection? Whenever this question is being put into why should we hire you or why you, they keep asking this. Make sure that you tell them an answer wherein you have something to gain from the company and the company has something to gain from you. Okay, so for example, the team or the company that you will be joining will be able to leverage your social media ability, your social media management. You would be able to help the company in becoming a more social to change the social face of the company. You would be able to change it or transform it. That could be one example. Okay, and what is it that you are going to gain as well from the company? What it is that you will gain? Is it just the learning? Is it an experience? Is it a specific training program? Or is it a hands-on experience on a particular skill set? Right, that can be decided by you. So I would say if you have it's like a coloring book that you have, already the pre-printed color is there. That is your formula there, which I said, getting the intersection. Know what the company identify what the company will gain from you and identify what you will gain from the company. Fill those answers or fill those blanks with your honest answers. Okay, and that will actually land you in or help you in cracking your interview questions. You have multitudes of such common interview questions, starting from tell me about yourself to what motivates you, why should we hire you, why do you want this job, why did you change your career path if somebody is changing domain, to behavioral questions like how do you manage to make sure that a conflict does not happen, or how do you prioritize projects when you're under pressure. Situational behavioral questions, everything is under you, right? So this is an assignment for you. We have a session specifically again on common interview questions, very specifically, wherein there will be one-on-one sessions on you where you and me will be interacting on these answers, right? But before we go for those sessions, this is an assignment for all of you wherein you can actually research on these common interview questions, okay, by yourself once, and then craft your answers accordingly. Okay, you can take a snapshot of these questions, okay, and craft your own answers, and then let us try to validate those answers and draft one for yourself. Now, these answers are not to be memorized. It is for you to keep in mind so that you articulate it in the correct way in front of your recruiters. Okay, so these are those common interview questions. And if you find any such questions which is being asked by group of another such companies, you can add them also. We'll try to answer them as well. And then the most important part is salary negotiation. As I said, you will have a dedicated session on this as well once you subscribe. So salary negotiation, again, various researchers again are conducted specifically on salary negotiation. It is said that, according to recent research, failing to negotiate salary when you're first, accepting an offer letter could be costing you $6 lakh. Okay, so make sure that you definitely negotiate. And also, recruiters are also expecting you to negotiate, right? So of course, every company will have a salary band, right? For XYZ position, they may have a band. The band would, for example, I'll give us, a generic example, okay? For a position of HR executive in a company, okay, in a multinational company, say, which is there in our country, it may offer you between 5 lakhs per annum to 7 lakhs per annum. So this is the band that you have. Okay, so similarly for every role they have this band. Okay, now again, another study by Glassdoor finds that workers who negotiated their salary and were successful in getting a pay increase saw an average increase of 5.4%. Okay, so before you go for such negotiations, you got to understand your value. Okay, how much you should negotiate is upon your value. Okay, and how do you decide your value? By again reviewing on various portals. For example, you have your online salary database like Glassdoor, job postings of other companies, right? And also with respect to when you network with people, in professional meetups, you can ask them as well about the basic salary band or the average salary band. Professional associations, through professional associations, you can get to know the salary that is there. Industry reports, you can get to know. Okay, so whenever you are negotiating, do not just quote a number and then sit aside. No, you got to explain it as well. How do you explain it? By quantifying your achievements. If you think that the salary that is offered to you is less, negotiate by saying that in your previous company you have done so and so work, this much xyz amount where you have increased your profits of the company, right? And then quantify that achievement in front of this recruiter. Okay, and yes, there is a study by HBR that says with respect to salary negotiation, make sure that you are likable to the recruiter. Okay, sometimes what happens is the recruiter, if they like you, when they see, recruiters are the ones who are taking the interviews with you, and checking with you as to what is the salary that is applicable. The key decisions are taken by the business units or their senior managers, right? So if you are in the liking of your recruiter, if your recruiter thinks that you're very genuine because he or she is the person who's interacting with you, right? And if you think that you're really deserving for a salary hike, they will advocate for you. I have done that. Okay, I have specifically done that when I have interviewed somebody and I feel that this person genuinely deserves the kind of salary that he's quoting, because he has like amazing skill set, the attitude that he carries is great, he'll be a great cultural fit, right? I advocate for them. I request my manager to kindly allocate a salary that the person is quoting, right? I've seen people doing that as well. I've seen my peers doing that. So, and later on I found that there is an HBR study on this. So that's a reality, right? So if you get the likability of your recruiter, if your recruiter likes you, they will advocate for you, right? So make sure that you negotiate with the right numbers. Okay, you negotiate with the right statement. As I said, the script matters. Okay, what you speak during the negotiation, how you speak during the negotiation really matters. Okay, there are various talking points that has to be added to your negotiation strategies. Okay, so one example I have added, see, based on some conversations I have had with individuals in my role elsewhere and the data from this research, right? I understand that other professionals are delivering the same quality and quantity of work. They have a more attractive compensation structure. So I would like to, receive the same, okay? Or I would like to receive a similar kind. So these are all various talking points, and there are various other talking points as well, which we will be looking at in the dedicated sessions, okay? And another survey again says, managers, 70% of the managers expect that you negotiate. Okay, so already they are open to a negotiation. It's just that you have to open up yourself for a negotiation by moving out of your comfort zone, right? So with that ends my delivery here. Okay, I believe that I forgot to actually ask, was my pace okay? Were you able to understand the session whenever I was explaining on the insights and the details? All right, great. So I believe that you have understood some know-hows of the importance of basically, crafting your CV. I would always say you should know why this is so important, why people are, talking so much about it, because the statistics say so. The statistics say so because that is the reality. Okay, ATS is a reality. Going, the resume parsing system being automated is a reality. So make sure that, your robots are not standing on your way to land on your dream job, right? So over to Krishi. Thank you so much, Krishi. Yeah.
Thank you, Arundhati. It was an amazing session.
About it because the statistics say so. The statistics say so because that is the reality. Okay, ATS is a reality. Going, the resume parsing system being automated is a reality. So make sure that your robots are not standing on your way to land on your dream job, right? So over to Krishi. Thank you so much, Krishi. Yeah.
Thank you, Arundhati. It was an amazing session. I'm
about it because the statistics say so. The statistics say so because that is the reality. Okay, ATS is a reality. Going, the resume parsing system being automated is a reality. So make sure that your robots are not standing on your way to land on your dream job, right? So over to Krishi. Thank you so much, Krishi. Yeah.
Thank you, Arundhati. It was an amazing session. I'm sure our participants had a great time learning. I believe they have some queries. So
Definitely.
let's just keep the Q&A session open then. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. Yes, so you can just, drop in all your queries, or you can just unmute and ask whatever doubts you're having directly to Arundhati. And yes, any questions?
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes,
Ma'am,
good afternoon. Who's that?
ma'am, can you just means show us software developer? Means I'm a fresher, so can you just means how can I, what keywords should I add in a software developer,
Okay.
or for means how can this research for that?
Okay, good question. See, again, for freshers, as I said, only one thing that will stay away from your CV is your experience, work experience. But for that, you'll have to work a little bit on your personal branding also. As a fresher who's applying for any position, make sure that in your projects in your college or in your projects in your internship, how far have you applied the skill sets that you have learned to become a software developer, right? Probably out of interest, you must have developed a particular software, maybe while working with your friends, or out of fun you must have started a mini project within you. Try to bring that up. Okay, try to discuss about it, try to put that over accounts like LinkedIn wherein you post your information, and that you can add to your CV. As to put a separate section, say mini projects done or projects done, you can add a separate section. Okay, so wherein it shows how practically you have applied this and how passionate you are about your profile, number one. Secondly, based on the projects that you have completed, definitely there will be an academic project that you have completed within your academic work college days, right? So those project details are to be given in detail. Those have to be explained in detail as to what was the project, what was your learning outcome, what was your expectation about it, how did it go into with respect to the recognition process, that is what was the feedback that you received from your professors and other industry experts. So that way, try to build more on wherever you have practically applied it. Okay, for that you have to practically apply it also. As I said, that is the area where you have to also work on your personal branding, because a lot of freshers are now engrossed in taking up certification programs, taking up these mini projects and internships through LinkedIn itself. You have a lot of LinkedIn internship opportunities, so try to pick them up and add them in your CV. Apart from that, list all other sections as usual, your skill sets, create a skill bank, list your skills accordingly. Other sections are internships and projects and papers that you have published. Again, a lot of colleges now push students to write research papers. So if you have done any such research papers, detail about it, right? And that will help you in dreaming, landing in your starting position of your software developer job.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, there was one more question. In a resume, is summary necessary or the career objective is necessary for fresher?
Both are necessary. Your summary shows about what you have done so far in a very crisp detail. Okay, so when somebody's reading it, they know what they have to look forward in the CV. And the objective is also equally important, because why are you using the CV for, right? What is your career objective? Is it in line with the company's job description? So it's easily picked up through your career objective and summary. Don't make it too long. Keep it very short and crisp. So again, your AI is there to help you in that.
Hello, ma'am. I am experienced professional, and I have two questions. One is what type of negotiation we could make in I'm working in a product based company. So what kind of in recent scenario I we got some appraisal. So what
Mhm.
type of discussion can we make for that on the salary part, CTC part?
Okay. So first thing is doing your research correctly, because knowing your value is equally important,
Mhm.
right? Where you stand and all that. So that is one part of it. Second is because you have also received an appraisal, try to quantify this. What are the key points in the appraisal that best describes you, right? What have you achieved in the last tenure of the offer appraisal, and what is it that you can contribute? So highlight those, and of course check your market value, okay, with
Mhm.
respect to your industry and with respect to your the designation wise way. For your designation, what is the average salary that you're currently getting in the market, and what is the economic condition? Based on that, you can quote.
But I think that is not a good way. I means we cannot go ahead and say that currently in other companies and the market there are giving this much amount, okay, this much CTC, and I am getting this much. So that type of comparison on straight way we can't go. We
No, when
can't
you are
carry, right?
unsatisfied with the CTC that is being offered to you, you can definitely talk about your market research that you have done. Probably you needn't pinpoint as to XYZ person said in their company they have a CTC of this, but
Mhm.
the results that you've got from your market research, for example, your Glassdoor has immense information about any particular job role that you feed in. So from that, you
Okay.
can get the average pay for anything. And out of it, how much you are eligible for it based on your experience,
Mhm.
you can quote that number. And if you have one important thing to notice, if you have a number, say somewhere between 2000 to 3000, say, just giving an example, okay, quote the
Mhm.
higher side, so that even if they
Okay.
negotiate, you're still on the higher end. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
And one more point is that can you share this CV templates that you showcase in the slides?
Yes, that will be, I think, handled by Krishi better. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be
Fine. Fine.
reaching out
Thank
to
you.
you, Danish. We'll be reaching out to you and we'll be sharing all these details with you over your WhatsApp and over your mail. You will be receiving it. Everyone. No worries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am. Good afternoon.
Ankit has a doubt. Yes, Ankit.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. Ma'am, I actually BA background. So in college days, I developed some like development,
Ankit, that's
like
not
in
clear. I'm not able to.
yeah. Hello, is it clear now?
Yes, better.
So ma'am, मैं actually BA background से हूँ, but college days से मुझे development
Sorry, Ankit. Is it my problem? Am I?
Ankit, your voice is not audible, I
It's
think.
breaking. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
If you
yeah
use some,
is it clear?
It's
yes,
better
it's
now,
much
slightly better.
better.
Okay, just a second. I hope it's clear now, ma'am.
Better.
सो मैम मैं ग्रेजुएशन मेरा जो था वो हिंदी में था
Okay.
लेकिन मुझे थोड़ा डेवलपमेंट का भी मतलब अच्छा लगता था कॉलेज बेस में तो मैंने कुछ स्किल्स मैंने सीखे हैं तो आई
Okay.
वांट टू स्टार्ट माय करियर एज अ डेवलपर नाउ सो इज इट ओके इफ आई पुट माय एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड इन माय सीवी with my current skill set will that affect my resume कि मेरा बैकग्राउंड ये था ग्रेजुएशन में और मैं टेक्निकल जॉब में जाना चाहता हूँ
I tried to understand your question, but then it was not clear. If there is anybody who has understood, or you can put it in the chat box. Maybe I'll pick it up from there, Ankit.
okay
Yeah.
okay.
Hello, ma'am. Kirti here. I have a
Yes, Kirti.
yeah. I have doubt in ATS system. I mean, you mentioned it would be good if it is in a PDF file, but I have read somewhere in where Word would have more powerful impact rather than PDF while reading the ATS.
It does, because again, PDF is in a fixed format, but then it will not screen out your CV just because it is submitted in a PDF format. That will not happen.
Okay, and
Yeah. As long as it has the keywords, it will take in your CV.
okay, and one more question. I mean, regarding like the profile developing through the link. So I mean, which website or what you suggest? Like,
Right.
I mean, like profile developing. Do you have any free website creation for that? I mean, like.
I'm personally not aware of a free website creation because it takes a little effort to, build a particular profile. See, it's like crafting your history, right? And presenting it in the best possible manner. So as of now, I'm not aware of it, but maybe I can refer and get back to you. But as far as I have seen from various career profiles being built, such a detailed version of career profile building I have seen with what Talentplace has shown me as well. So yeah.
And my question was like, is it chargeable or like, do we have it?
Those details you have Krishi to help you with.
Sure, sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Kirti, your doubt was cleared. I'll be getting back to you on that. Anybody else who has any more doubts to ask? The Q&A forum is open. You can ask all your doubts, or you can just drop in on the chat box. We'll take up your questions. Yes, Pranav, do you have any doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Actually, you told someone who was going to prepare for Python developer that you said that whichever projects you had done in your graduation or post graduation, you should apply that in your resume. But ma'am, actually, I was from the MSc background, MSc zoology. Then later on, I just switched in IT. So I just right now I'm just doing Python classes over here in Pune.
Okay.
But I want to ask you that you told him that you should apply that projects over here. But I was not from the same field, no. So what should I do for that now?
In such cases, when you're doing a domain switch, it's not just on the CV that you have to work. It is also on the, as I said, the keyword here is important. Personal branding is also important, which means that you have to actually put effort into, see, if you directly go and say, see, nobody will believe that, although you have knowledge on, you must have upskilled yourself and all that. Suddenly, when you say, you are a fresher, you have moved in from a different domain for Python. And when you stand amongst a crowd of people who have experienced in the same domain, right? Definitely those experienced people have a higher probability of getting a preference. So in order to match up to their level, you have to take up some mini projects for yourself. Even when you're upskilling, make sure that definitely your, for example, any certification that you must have taken will have a project of its own to qualify for that certification or for that certificate, right? Try to highlight that project, right? And take up smaller internships or mini projects, or if you go to kaggle.com and all that, you will see some live projects going on there, right? Or similar websites wherein you will get live projects for a specific skill set. So take up projects from there and highlight as to what kind of problems that you can solve, right? So that is one of the best method to crack any interview or any hiring wherein you're doing a domain switch. And in the interview, as well as in the CV, when you highlight, make sure that you talk about the skills that are called as transferable skill sets. So from the previous, so you have, I think, an experience, your previous domain was into MSc zoology, if I'm not wrong, right? So what have you learned from there that you can apply here? Probably it is about identifying intricate details, your eye for detail, right? Or the way you are able to grasp information, a lot of information in a single gulp, right? So those are some of the transferable skill sets that you can use in the next job role as well. Highlight on those skill sets also when you write a CV.
And will you please pardon the website name which you told right now?
It's kaggle.com. Those are basically for Excel projects, but it will also guide you with respect to Python also. Similar projects, I'll get back on the same for specifically Python one. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll try make a note of it as well. Yeah.
Okay, I hope Pranav, your doubt was cleared. There is one more question in the chat box.
Yes.
Ankit Bose, I think he was not audible. He
Yes,
asked, I completed my MA in Hindi, but I was interested in coding as well. So I developed some coding skills as well, and I wanted to start my career as a developer. Will it affect my resume? If it does, put my MA in Hindi the resume, or as it has nothing to do with the coding?
Okay, see, being a post-graduation or a graduation, if you want, you have all your liberty to put MA in Hindi as an option, as a, it's purely optional according to you. But highlighting your skill set with respect to and the certifications or the qualification with respect to coding is more important. So you can put MA in Hindi if you want, but then not above the coding experience or the coding certification, right? You can put under that whatever graduation, full-time, post-graduation, whatever you have completed, you can detail on one side, plus your coding qualifications, certifications, the projects that you have done, your transferable skill sets, right? From a person who was into language, learning this kind of a new language, which is more automated and which is more into the software side. What is it that you can transfer from there, right? Try to think of that and put that in the summary section as well. So likewise, you can, build your CV. See, one thing that I would tell you is putting your information on the CV it is all about organizing the information, but that information has to be true, which means that even when you're looking for a job change or even when you're looking for a career growth, make sure that you have the solid, relevant experience for it. That experience, you're putting it in the most presentable format. That is where your CV comes into picture, right? And if that experience is not coded correctly, you will be screened out as well. So it's a 50-50 job, right? Or I would say rather it's a 100% job, because you have to focus 100% on the real-time upskilling and building your profile, as well as you have to organize your data in the best possible manner also.
I think, Ankit, your doubt was cleared. I think Aparna has a question. Aparna, please could you unmute yourself if you have any questions to ask?
Yeah, I just wanted to know that can you please share me that CVs that you just yeah
Yes,
on
I will
the
be getting
mail?
in touch with you.
Okay.
By the end of the session, I will be getting in touch with all of you all, and I'll be sharing all the details also.
Yeah.
So you will be receiving it shortly over your WhatsApp groups and your emails as well.
Yeah. Because it will be helpful for me to build my resume.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes. Any more doubts? Any more questions to be
Ma'am,
asked?
Ma'am, I had a question. Is it
Rishi.
compulsory? Oh, ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Ma'am, is it compulsory to have one-page resume, or is it means if it is two-page resume, is it compulsory to have only a resume for one
No.
page?
See, even the CVs that I have shown, it is not confined to one-page resume. Based on your experience, if you have enough experience to detail it in 2 or 3 pages, you have to detail it, definitely. If it is like, if there are some people who write unnecessary stories and extend it to a 2-page or 3-page CV, that becomes very frustrating for a recruiter who's reading, because there is no solid experience and you keep writing the same thing. Definitely it is frustrating. But when you have relevant experience, and if you're detailing it, that's perfectly fine.
So if I detail my skills and projects in resume, is it good, or means I have done some
It's
skills?
very good, and it's important that you do it. Only then your CV will be able to get through the ATS also, because it will have the relevant keywords, and your recruiters will be able to understand you better, so that they can craft questions, interview questions out of it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I hope Rishikesh, your doubt was cleared. Okay, there's one more query. Just a minute.
How about the CV applying to companies
Yes.
outside in India, like USA or Canada? So some of the examples or statistics that I have shown here, it is a global statistic number also. Okay. So when I say 99% of the Fortune 500 companies, it is worldwide, not just in companies in India, right? So when you're applying in companies like USA or Canada also, they will also use the ATS, right? That's why I said, and now even if they don't have their inbuilt ATS for specific companies, they may outsource it also. So in such cases also, yes, you have to craft it accordingly. And of course, you can also look at when you're applying for the in companies like Canada or USA, just check in their websites as to, or check in Glassdoor as to what are the relevant details that they will look for. Those information also you can add to the CV. Of course, your current CV has everything about you with respect to your professional details. But if there is anything in specific, say some companies may need your passport number, or driving license details if it is a country abroad. So in such cases, just check for those details with the recruiter. That's it.
All right. I hope, Abhi, your doubt was clear. Any more queries, guys? Anything else to be asked?
Yeah, one more doubt I have.
Yes,
So,
Aparna.
can you, which is the best portal for applying a job? Can you suggest us?
Sorry.
Which is the best portal for applying the jobs?
I would always suggest every portal because you never know, right, which recruiter finds you from which portal. Even recruiters, they post in every portal. The same job advertisement you can see on Naukri and LinkedIn. Even I, as a recruiter, have posted the same job advertisement on various portals so that you never know where you get good candidates from, right? So they also keep all the doors open. And similarly, you got to apply as well. So I would suggest keep your account open in LinkedIn, Naukri, the basic portals that we have. Even Indeed.com is a great website, and then start using them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hi, Dharmesh this side. Can you please let me know any other portal that will help us to search job across India, apart from India in other country? Is there any portal that you can suggest?
In terms of apart from you want apart from LinkedIn and Naukri, right?
Yeah.
Then it's going to be Monster, Indeed.com. You also have SnapHunt.com, right? These also will have similar job, job postings open. But again, the top rated and the mostly used high traffic websites are LinkedIn and Naukri, definitely. These are the other websites wherein you can try your luck as well. Also, you can use the company specific websites also. Try directly applying on the company website. They will download, recruiters will have access to that as well. And of course, the best method to get your resume across is through a referral. Okay, when you have somebody who can refer your CV, of course, that will also pass through the ATS. But when you can refer it, it will add a human touch to it because somebody is advocating for you there, right? So that would be the best method of job application I have found. But yeah, apart from that website per se, these are the other websites.
Okay. And outside the India, for the foreign countries, is there any way to identify those things? Kind of the remote opportunity, yeah, something.
Yes, again, in foreign countries, at least my peers, and they have applied through LinkedIn itself. Some people apply through the company's visa portal, through the country-specific visa portal. For example, for Canada job positions and all that, they have their specific governmental procedures and those portals. So
Okay.
either they apply through that, or they apply through LinkedIn and they find various company openings at various locations. Likewise.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I hope Dharmesh, your doubt was clear. Any more questions, guys? There might be certain more questions which we have missed. Arundhati, we will be posting it to you and we'll be getting them cleared as well. Right?
Yes, I would be.
Okay.
If I can get in, if I can get the snapshot of it, I can respond to it in writing.
Sure. Yeah. There might be certain more questions which we missed. Okay, guys, then. All right. So let's begin with the word of thanks then.
Thank you. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Thank you all for your time.
Okay. So I think those were some of the most amazing tips. And I think everyone who have joined with us today will agree with me on this. Thank you, Arundhati, for taking out your time from your busy
Thank you
schedule
so
and
much.
addressing our highly energetic audience who are determined to, succeed in their career currently. We also thank all of you all for attending this workshop with talentplace.ai. We hope you find this session informative and helpful. As a token of appreciation, we have an exciting offer for you all. Our premium package, which includes a digital career profile, resume specialist service for resume building, an ATS friendly resume with 10 plus templates, a Big Five assessment, and what job fits me report with a psychometric test. It measures your persona and gives you a valuable insight like which kind of job roles will suit you, which kind of industries you should be looking for, and also how to improve your resume. The market rate of the test itself is like around $50. That is, roughly around 4,000 rupees. But here it's bundled in our product. A detailed 2-hour session workshop on interview practice and salary negotiation. We have, and all this is for a 1-year membership. All these things, if we go in the market, the value is approximately 15,000, and our price is for this is just rupees 3,200 only, right? But guess what? We are offering this to attendees of this workshop at an incredible price of just rupees 1,500, and we will set off the 99 rupees that you have paid for the workshop. As ma'am told, you have to align your resume with the company requirements and the job description as well. That's why we are giving a subscription for a year so that you can visit the website maximum times and make the changes as many times as you want, right? That's why we are giving a subscription, and so that you can make the changes n number of times. This gives you a unique advantage, of course. And if you go to a resume writer, they will charge you up to 4,000 to 5,000 every time. So it will make you like, even if you make 3 amendments in a year, it will cost you approximately 15 to 20K. But that's not the case with us. This is valid only for 2 days, right? So we will share the details on WhatsApp groups as promised, and we will also be receiving, you will also be receiving the link of the ebook and the resume templates in your email, as well as on your WhatsApp group. Yeah, so please feel like you can just, yeah, so you can contact us. Please feel free to get in touch with our team. We will be happy to help you all. And once again, thank you all for being a part of this workshop. We wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. And dropping in the feedback form, please feel free to give a feedback to us so that we can improve in the further sessions as well.
Okay.